Coming up on Look Today, well, the Glens Falls Civic Center is a potential new venue for the Northeast Collectors Gun Show. I've got details. And a man is arrested at Magic Forest Family Fun Park in Lake George. More on that coming up. And the Fort Edward School regains its varsity football team. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Jeff Mead. He's the general manager of the Glens Falls Civic Center. He's here to talk about economic development and upcoming events at the Civic Center. I also sit down with Robin Barkenhagen. He's the Green Party candidate and he's running for the 114th Assembly District. And we're going to talk about his campaign. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, in light of the recent news that the Northeast Arms Collectors Associates Gun Show will not be coming back to the Saratoga City Center, the show's organizer, Dave Petronas, is seeking other venues. Well, the Glens Falls Civic Center is the potential location for the show. And the show was held at the Saratoga City Center for the past 30 years. Recently, Petronas was informed that no dates were available for future shows. And Saratoga Springs Democrats recently passed a resolution asking the City Council that the show be banned from the city. Well, we spoke to Jeff Mead, the general manager of the Civic Center in Glens Falls, about the new potential for the show.
Yeah, anytime you bring in an event, it's good for the region, Warren County, Glens Falls, but when you bring in a show like the gun show, it'd be a weekend event. People would stay in the hotels for the weekend, eat at the restaurants, go to retail shopping. So it'd be good for us as the arena, but certainly be great for the Warren County area.
We also had the opportunity to talk to Jeff about upcoming events at the Civic Center. That's going to bolster, as you know, downtown tourism.
Well, September 9th we have big time wrestling. Hacksaw Jim Duggan's coming back to Glens Falls. Late September the 30th, George Thorogood is coming with Edgar Winter Band. October 14th, an alternative rock band called Brand New is coming to Glens Falls. Then we have our rodeo again in early November, and certainly the ECHL All-Star Game January 18 of 2017 is coming to Glens Falls, which should be a great event for us.
George Thorogood, Edgar Winter, I'm there. I also sit down with Jeff later in the show for a more in-depth and exclusive interview about changes at the Civic Center. In other news, well, here's the kind of story that we don't normally report on. However, we believe it's important that we keep you informed and aware. So, a level 3 registered sex offender was arrested after he failed to report to the police that he had changed his place of employment. Francis Germain was hired at Magic Forest Family Fun Park in Lake George at the beginning of the summer. Now, although there were no reports of any incidents, it is a felony for a registered sex offender not to report to police when he or she changes their employment. Well, apparently, Magic Forest failed to do a thorough background check. Well, we spoke to Steve Scottdale. He's a commander of the criminal investigation of the Warren County Sheriff's Department.
He's a level 3 sex offender. The case which got him placed on the sex offender registry did not involve anything involving children. However, he does have contained within his criminal past some incidents of statutory rape that had us a little bit concerned with him working in an amusement park.
Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw overcast skies with a little rain and the temperatures were a little cooler. Well, let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up and look forward to the weekend. For a more detailed look at our weather, we're going to head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. Here's some good news for you. In the world of sports, guess what? Fort Edward High School has a football team again. Last year, the school was forced to dissolve its varsity football team because it didn't have enough players. Well, this year, the team is back with an arsenal of young and hopeful players. Now, Fort Edward will put its new team to the test when they face Warrensburg on Saturday. Well, we spoke to Jeff Tully. He's a Fort Edward football coach.
Yeah, it's a brand new season. Coming back to varsity this year at Fort Edward. We had only a JV team last year. Really looking forward, excited to the new season.
Now remember, you can watch high school football games right here on Look TV in our play-by-play program. And the first game that we're going to air will be this Sunday. Up next, I sit down with Jeff Mead. He's the general manager of the Glens Falls Civic Center. He's here to talk about economic development, downtown Glens Falls, and upcoming events at the Civic Center. Plus, I also sit down with Robin Barkenhagen. He's the Green Party candidate. He's running for the 114th Assembly District. We're going to talk about his campaign. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. And I've got a couple of lookouts for tonight. Yesterday I mentioned that we had gone out to the Heading for Home farm outside of Saratoga to do a episode of our show called Her Look. We had some fascinating interviews out there with Erin, Kristen, and Christine. The farm, by the way, is dedicated to equine therapy, all stages of the interaction between humans and horses. It was just a fascinating place and a fascinating afternoon. So I want to thank them for inviting us out. And one other lookout, yes, we heard back about our Gene Wilder tribute yesterday. And the comments were very interesting. We got some that said, oh my God, you guys are so funny. We got other ones that said, you know, you're a news organization and you shouldn't do that. And then I think the last one was that Andrew got the most votes for doing the best job at imitating Gene Wilder. Actually, I think I did, and Drew think that he did, so it's a tie. Tonight on Look TV, it's a Saratoga City Council meeting. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.